Okay. So I don't know. So since I don't really post, I thought that I would hopefully get more into it. And to start off my channel, I might as well do Try My Life. So to begin with, I was born in, trying to think. I was born March 3rd, 2003. There really wasn't anything special about me, I guess, when I was a baby, because, I was a baby, but I did have to stay into the hospital for a couple extra days because I had croup. Don't really know how to spell that, but it's basically when a baby can't breathe very well, and so I had to stay in there, and yeah, I guess I lived a happy life. I had an older brother. His name was Nathan, and we're pretty close, I guess. And then I had a mom, and I had a dad. And I was right here, just baby. My brother was 3 when I was born, so he's 3 years older than me, still to this day, obviously. I lived a happy life until I was 2 years old, and that is when my dad died in an airplane crash. My dad worked for a company called Landcare or whatever, and he was a test pilot. So basically, he fixed planes and then he would test drive them, I guess, test fly. And one night he decided that he was going to go test one with his friend, and so here was my dad, and this was his friend, and they said bye for the last time. My dad died in Portland in 2005, so I was 2, as I said, and they crashed into a mountain. And I don't know, I don't really remember him well because I was young, so yeah. My mom was sad, obviously, she was really sad, and this is my mom, and my dad's friend's wife, well, I guess she should be frowning, she was angry, and she sued Landcare for $5 million, and she won. I asked my mom why she didn't sue Landcare either, and she said that accidents happen. It wasn't exactly their fault. And I don't know. After that, my mom's friends tried to help my mom out by giving her food, giving her dinner, trying to take care of her and stuff. And then my mom decided that she was going to move away so she could hopefully find a better life. But my mom, she met a guy, and his name was Brian. This wasn't necessarily good. We moved to Payson, and we lived in a pretty big house. And the backyard was nice. We had a little slide coming off of the porch that went down, and it was in front of the fence. It was behind the fence, actually. And then we had bunny stable thingies in the backyard, and the backyard was really fun. But Brian was not a good guy, and my mom resorted to drugs. And we lived like that until I was 5 years old. Or 4. It was 4. Yes, it was 4. And my mom didn't really take care of me at the time. It was mainly my brother, who was 7. And he did all the grocery shopping. And then one day, the police came. They arrested my mom, and she went to jail for 9 months. So So me and my brother, we went to live with my grandma. She lived in a cute little town called Weiser, and that is, I think it's in Idaho, actually. I'm not quite sure where it is, but we lived in a house in the country, and they had a huge yard, and over here was a trampoline, and the yard was right here, and then over here were a ton of fields, and then more roads, and at the very end of the street was a girl named Dorothy's house, and that's one of my other grandmas, the aunts, grandma, aunt, whatever. And there I went to a daycare. I was supposed to be attending kindergarten at a big school, but my grandma didn't really have time to take me, so I spent most of my time in daycare. And I was really sad because I wanted to go to kindergarten. Although I did go sometimes. And yeah. So my grandma's house was a 2-story house. It had a basement, and then down there was 7 rooms, and then there was a playroom, and then upstairs was my grandma's room. There was a living room over here, the kitchen was somewhere over here, and then there was a hallway that went this way, and then at the very end was my grandma's room, and then right here was an office, and that's where I slept. And this was a room. It was not very big, and there was a nightlight right here, and this is where I slept, at the very corner of the room where there was a nightlight, and I slept on the floor. And yeah, and then 9 months later my mom came back and we moved, and we lived in a house in Meridian, and it was okay. And then my mom met another guy, and they talked about getting married. And then all of those disappeared a few years later when my mom got pregnant and he left. And then my little sister was born. And she cried a lot. Like, it never ended. And we were okay, I guess. And then my mom met another guy. And this time, she got married. We were a pretty happy family, and then we literally moved across the street to his house. And then a few years later, we moved all the way across into like another entirely different place, and that is where I'm still living now. I always thought it was destiny that my parents got together because my dad's birthday is August 15th, and August 15th is the day that my real dad died. And another thing that's weird is that my parents' anniversary was on 9/11, and just a few years later, a few years later, my dad died. And I was really sad, I guess, and I'm still sad to this day, and I wonder what my life would be like if he was here. But everything worked out, and we're all pretty happy right now, except a few years back, I moved away from my school, and I went to a new school, and I was depressed for a little while. And I didn't really have any friends because they all left me. They didn't talk to me anymore, and it really brought me down. But there was a new school that was recently built. I will not name it, but it's a really big school. It almost looks like a high school to me. And there I met one of my solid friends, and we are still friends right now, and she is just the nicest person I've ever met. And I love her so very much, and I don't know what I'd do without her. So that is my life. I am only 13 right now, and I will soon be 14 on March, which is a few months away, and I can't wait. I am so excited, but I will forever want to remain a kid because I love my family, and one day I'm going to have no mom and no dad and no brother, and it's going to be so sad. And yeah, I'm planning to go to a college in Alaska, and that's my life.